So last week I was really bored. And I thought, you know when you're like in a car and it's like too shaky and then you're like, oh my god, it's too shaky, and then you can't draw and paint or write something anymore? So I thought, what if, oh, okay, too close. What if we got on a kayak, well, someone else is rowing, of course, in the great Canadian outdoors. But first we need to go outside. Here we are on the water, trying to paint like the master painters of the past, except I'm gonna try it on a kayak with Matthew, aka Orange Jesus. Say hi.
Hi.
He's a little bit shy. This kayak is filled to the brim with the latest technology. It has 2 Pelican-powered seats, ample space for 2 passengers, painting equipment, and a wet bag. With our powerful vessel, this marks the beginning of our journey on the Great Lakes. It's wobbly.
It's a kayak.
I know it's a kayak. I'm scared, okay? Oh no, we're too fast. I'm taken aback by Mother Nature's beauty, as I've never been outside before. This is gonna be a wobbly, dangerous journey, but it's a sacrifice we must make for art. But to achieve a common goal, one must know their allies first. You're Skibbity?
I'm Skibbity.
Some questions for Orange Jesus. So, Orange Jesus, what is your favorite color?
Pink, clearly.
You hate orange.
Worst color.
That's good to know, Orange Jesus. How much can you bench?
Not enough.
I guess those 2,000 years of bench didn't do anything for you, Jesus.
Can't do bench every day and still see gains.
If you had any superpower, like, say, let's just assume in this hypothetical situation, you're like an average person and you weren't like the son of God or something. If you weren't the son of God, what superpower would you choose?
What's friendly for YouTube?
YouTube friendly superpower?
No, I want to only be able to make right turns on... No, I want to make left turns on red lights after 10 p.m.
That's a very specific superpower.
It's the only one I want.
Left turns on a red light after 10 p.m.? What does it mean? I'm just wondering why his father made everything so boring. All I see is trees, more trees, and grass. And, oh, there's a house. And thanks to my excellent navigational skills, we found a rock. Thanks, Jesus. So I made an effort to run into every single rock I could find on the lake. Pet the rock.
Pet the bird shit.
No.
I think you just did.
Oh.
What do you think that? That's the
Oh.
bird shit on the other side.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to pet the birds. Shit.
Hiya.
Oops.
Oops, all bird shit.
And with my hand mildly covered in bird feces, we finally made our way to the promised destination. We found a destination with all of the elements of the lake, like the trees, the houses, and the grass together. This should make an amazing painting composition. Well, I think I finally found my spot. I guess there's like a big tree over there. There's some houses, or cottages I mean, and there's some trees, and of course there's water and a pirate. It's a pirate over there. Look at the pirates. He just waved at us. Well, I think since for today I'm sort of awkwardly in a canoe, I'm gonna try my best to use one brush possible because I have no place to put these brushes that are dirty, and the closest place I have is just around my legs, which those are gonna make my pants just super dirty. So I'm just gonna try to use one brush and see how it goes. Start with burnt umber and mix it with paint solvent. We're gonna make a basic underpainting so we can get the impression of the scene I want before we start laying down the colors. It's a little awkward to paint this boat, but here we go. I lay out rough brushstrokes in one direction to get the silhouette of the trees. The rough texture adds the impression of leaves or pines. This will be useful for later. After roughing out my tree area and my sky area, I start to add basic colors to the trees and add variation in the green to give it the impression that there's multiple species of trees. I drew a pale blue line to represent the lake, reflecting the color of the gloomy sky of today. Overall, today is really gray, so the muted colors work really well. So I got my base colors in here. You can get sort of the gist of the artwork just by like squinting at it. So after this, I'm gonna start blocking in some more, blocking in some basic shapes, like the trees or the houses and the islands or whatever. So that should make it seem more closer to the finished product. It's super rough right now, but it's gonna look a lot better. Now if I want to make more detail, I'm gonna start to have to be more precise. I start by laying out thick lines of burnt umber. This can give the illusion of detail, and especially since I'm on a time crunch to return my kayak, this can help me work a lot quicker. I work in more detail by putting small flicks of brown paint everywhere to give the impression of tiny leaves coming off the trees. Then I make a bunch of parallel rough lines downwards to give the impression of just texture. This will add a lot of natural organic feeling to the scene. Also, the direction of the stroke is really important. It can look like a branch, a trunk, a leaf, or grass, depending on the context. Even something as simple as drawing lines can be so deep and take a lifetime to master. I start laying down my thicker paints to get the shadow, and this is where I use my special technique. Actually, maybe it's not so special. When most people use oil paint for the first time, they like to lay one color on first and then put another one on top. But actually, I think that's a really big mistake, and you're about to see why. Where did the yellow go? It's like I'm not even painting with anything now. This is what happens when you put two thick layers of paint on each other. Now I'll show you proper technique. Simply, just put the two colors beside each other, and they won't mix. This will get you a lot better results. I do this sometimes too, where I mix the bottom layer with solvent to make it really thin, and then I put a thick layer of the top layer. It mixes a tiny bit, but it's still pretty good color. Using thin layers can reduce the amount of white spots in your painting, so I like to do that. Okay, so this is where the painting can get a little bit tedious. I'm just blocking down the shadows of the trees, and since the trees have a lot of different leaves over top of each other, I just kind of making random spots until I get the right texture I want. This is again where the direction of your lines really matter a lot, as it can almost indicate sort of a flow of where the branches are going or which tree is which just by pointing the lines towards the stem of the tree. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but in short, it gives the trees sort of a rhythm to them, almost like they're dancing. The detailing part of a painting is always the most intense part. You need to pay attention to which direction your brushstrokes is going so much. I try to put a texture on the water and get the reflections right. Since the water is sort of a brown color and the sky is slightly blue today, the darker parts are going to be a burnt umber and the lighter parts are going to be a pale blue. And this video is brought to you by me and my sticker store, Sticker Syndrome. With Sticker Syndrome, you can get awesome vinyl stickers designed by me, delivered right to your doorstep. The stickers are made to be durable, so you can stick them anywhere, like your sketchbook, your planner, or on your bike. Or even your grandma. All while looking super cool and super powerful. And who knows, maybe you'll make some powerful friends along the way.
Very cool stickers.
What do I say? What do I say? What do you say? Thanks.
You have good taste. Let us be friends.
So get your stickers now at stickersyndrome.com and use code NEAT to get 10% off your first order. Well, with a bit of a time crunch, I finally finished. And there it is. It's a little bit impressionist, but I think I'm happy with how it came out, especially since I could only use one brush. I kind of tried to get the ripples on the lake or something. It turned out okay. What do you think of it, Jesus?
It's adequate.
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 Damn, okay. What could I do better?
I don't know, you tell me.
You're supposed to be all-knowing, Jesus.
I am all knowing, I'm just not letting you know.
I don't know what Orange Jesus meant by that. He sure does work in mysterious ways. Maybe he just wants me to figure it out for myself. I guess maybe we all need to figure out things for ourselves sometimes. Maybe instead of just listening to what everybody else is doing, you can just do something on your own, like going on a kayak to paint some landscapes. And maybe, in the end, it was you that was onto something all along. But you never really find out if you never tried. This is my first time posting a video in quite a while. And let's just say, during that time, I was just trying to figure things out for myself. You know, what I really want to do, and what kind of videos I really want to make. There's only so much I can appeal to an algorithm before I just give up and start trying to figure things out myself.